Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/PettyRevenge. In today's episode, we're sending you home with dying dog, disguised as healthy, face the wrath of a cancer patient. Wanna bully me through high school then cheat off me? I think not. Contractor causes me to crap my pants, and gets a $12,000 fine. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. We're sending you home with dying dog, disguised as healthy, face the wrath of a cancer patient. I thought about where to write this. It's been a couple years, and at this point, I would intentionally take in this type of dog to give him a good life, if only for a few weeks. This said, we got a dog from a local chapter of a large national rescue. We were told he was a 2-year-old they found wandering on the street. But according to the little evaluation form they had, he checked all the healthy boxes. We raised some concerns which they said were normal. Long story short, he suffered a series of grand mal seizures and died a month after he came home. He was an elderly dog with cancer, and the vet who examined him pointed out all the things their vet would have identified, indicating his senior status. The seizures also would have been observable before they sold him. Even if someone was totally open to giving him end-of-life love, they hid his condition, leading to a lot of suffering. He really didn't have to die that way. This is where I come in. At this time, I'm a cancer patient with rage issues and no good outlet, until this moment. I decide not only are we going to yell at the staff and get our money back, I am, in my bald, pale, cancer-looking state, going to go scream at them, because who is going to strike back at me? I read them the riot act. I'd be lying if I said I didn't throw in occasional signs of the cancer getting to me for dramatics. Then I went on every online platform, Facebook group, basically anywhere people might listen, or search to detail exactly how they scammed us, said they didn't have the funds to visually inspect dogs before selling them, and I mean literally stand at a distance to visually inspect them, etc. I went into great detail about the way he suffered because they lied. So everybody involved thought the right thing to do was to try to treat him instead of making him comfortable so he could pass peacefully. They never took responsibility or admitted guilt. But the lead vet, who told me they couldn't be expected to actually look at dogs from a distance, check their teeth, or watch the cameras installed in the kennel area, was fired shortly after. The site director, who told me they couldn't be expected to say we aren't sure if they didn't have the money to properly evaluate things like if a dog was neutered, was also very publicly fired. I did call both by name. So even now, years down the road, I hope it has followed them every time they apply for new jobs. Wanna bully me through high school then cheat off me? I think not. Not directly my revenge, but something I witnessed firsthand the end of my junior year of high school. To start with some background to add context to how big of a deal this revenge was. My high school was a public magnet school with a special program for gifted kids all through the county I grew up in. During our junior year, we had to take a research practicum course that was crucial that we needed to pass to make it to senior year. The class only had 2 grades, our final project that took the whole school year to complete, and our final exam, each worth 50% of our grade. Now I put quotes around gifted kids because that term was very loose. A lot of kids only made it in because they were able to pass the entrance exam. These kids were not able to make through the program on their own. Now to the story. In my grade was a very sweet but very shy and quiet girl we'll call Jan, fake name. Jan was very nerdy straight A student, so she was a target for the bitchy mean girls in my grade. She was a little on the heavier side, and mean girls would snicker at her weight or clothes. She never wore makeup and always kept her hair in a messy ponytail, and I would overhear girls talk about how badly they wanted to fix her. This always upset me because Jan was a kind girl with a big heart. She never seemed to let these people get her spirits down. Now in my junior year research practicum class, there was Jan, the biggest mean girl of our school that we'll call Regina George, one of her minions we'll call Gretchen, and two douchey popular guys. Towards the end of the school year, I noticed Regina suddenly being really friendly towards January. She would compliment Jan by telling her she looked pretty or partnering up with her in class. I then noticed that Gretchen and the two boys started sitting near her and acting like she was their best friend all along. Now came the day of the final exam. For our exam, we got a question sheet and a scantron to put our answers on. They all sat near me, and I noticed that Jan was leaving her scantron sheet visible so the other four could lean over to look at her answers and copy them down. Whatever, I thought. I saw people like this cheat all the time. Jan was done with her test and nodded over to the four people copying off her. They one by one went up to turn their exam in to the teacher. However, as soon as the last one handed theirs in, Jan quickly started erasing all her answers on the scantron and filling in the correct answers. She then turned in her exam with the biggest *T eating grin I have ever seen to this day. The four of them had to retake the class over the summer. I graduated high school over 10 years ago, and I still think of Regina and her minions' faces when they realized the girl they bullied for years just beat them at their own game. I still keep in contact with Jan to this day. She has lost a lot of weight and now works a really high-profile job, or I know she makes bank. She also just got married to another woman and they live together in the same city I now live in. Good for you, Jan, good for you. Contractor causes me to crap my pants and gets a $12,000 fine. Working in the construction trade is hard enough. Working for a contractor that thinks they can get away with saving money by not providing his workers a toilet is even worse. First off to state, this contractor isn't a holy. Thinks he's all high and mighty and will talk down to you every chance he gets. I do not normally work for this guy, another coworker does, I just happen to be filling in. Not having a bathroom is something I'm used to, it's an OSHA regulation, but I usually let it slide because driving to the nearest bathroom is like an extra long break. On this day in particular, I was in a fairly bad mood. I was tired, cranky, my stomach was in fits, and my contractor was just getting under my skin a little too deep. Cue the grumbling stomach. I beeline out to my vehicle to get to the bathroom, trusted the wrong fart, and ended up crapping my pants. Instead of heading to the bathroom, I headed home to clean up and change. Getting back to work, the contractor drilled into me for being gone too long and wasting time. Bad move, buddy, I wasn't having it. Cue my email to OSHA. Not even a day later, everyone is benefiting from a fresh new toilet on site. And the contractor fined $12,000. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.